Hey guys, I'm here with my favorite makeup artist, Mario, who gave me the look for the Vegas cover magazine shoot. That was probably my favorite magazine shoot that I've ever done, and I want to show you guys a little bit more of a wearable look, kind of like the Vegas look. We're going to start obviously with foundation. You put on a little moisturizer.
Yeah, I like to use a very emollient moisturizer like the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer because the foundation really sticks on it. I like to use on Kim the Giorgio Armani foundation. This is called a Beauty Blender, and you can get it at places like Ricky's or Alcone in New York. And you basically wet it. Yeah, you wet it and you squeeze it, and it becomes fluffy, and it just really presses in the makeup and blends it beautifully. I put it on my hand because there's a sort of heat on my hand, and so when I'm pressing it into my hand, I'm kind of warming it up and breaking it up a little bit before it goes directly onto the skin. After I've applied the foundation, I set it with a powder and a puff. You can get a puff anywhere. You put loose powder on it, and you just
translucent powder.
Yeah, translucent powder, not completely translucent. It has to have a little bit of a color in it for all over the face. And the same thing with the powder. I first dab it onto my hand first, so you don't get a blob of powder on the face, and just kind of press. So when I do Kim's eyebrows, I like to usually focus more on the outer corner, filling that in and extending it out a bit, and that generally works with most women because it kind of lifts the eye a little bit. So I like to take a color that's a little bit lighter than her actual brow color.
You just use like a regular eyeshadow.
Yeah, sometimes I use a MAC pencil, the ones that roll up, they're amazing. Or I'll just use an eyeshadow. This is called Cork from MAC.
Oh, yeah, Cork.
Yeah, so I'll just use that on the outer corner.
I'm going to watch this vlog back so many times so I can figure out how to do my perfect eyebrow.
Yeah, you want to be kind of light-handed with it. Just fill in like little sparse areas. Then you could kind of take the leftover from that's on the brush and just fill in this area where the brow begins here in the inner corners. This area you definitely don't want to be too dark or heavy. You just want to kind of fill it in very softly.
Now you're into brow gel.
Yeah, sometimes I am, sometimes I'm not. I use it basically a clear brow gel just to really hold the product in place and hold the hairs in place. The one I like to use is it's by Max Factor, No Color, Natural.
I love Max Factor.
Max Factor is good.
Yeah, we're gonna do eyeshadow right now and do the eyes, and we're gonna kind of do like a smoky gray tone look, kind of like the Vegas magazine.
Yeah, it's gonna be similar to Vegas. It's gonna be more silvery on the lids and blended into a more bronzy. I don't like to use grays in the crease.
How come? Because I usually do.
I think it's a little too ashy looking for me. I like to use warmer colors in the crease. If you want to go with the gray, you could really bring that out by doing it with the liner and smoking the liner out into warmer colors.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So right under the eyebrow, under the brow bone, just using a little bit of a kind of vanilla-ish color. It has a little bit of a shimmer. I'm using a powder. You could use either a cream or a powder. Right now I'm using a powder, and it's a really pretty silvery color. It's called Vapor. It's by Urban Decay. And I also like to get it right there in the tear duct.
That always makes it like give it a pop.
Yeah, it opens and separates the eyes. This is the Stila brush number 15. It comes with two sides. So this silvery color, I'm not going to take it all the way to the corner of the eye. I'm just going to kind of stop 3/4 in, because then I'm going to blend the darker color on the outer corner. I'm applying the darker, warmer tone now to the outer corner of the eye and blending it into that silver color that I put on first. This is just kind of, it's just like it's very bronzy, and it has a bit of shimmer in it. You could use any color. I'm using Chopper right now by Urban Decay as well. So I'm going to do her crease now, the crease of her eye, and I'm going to use, I like to use 2 or 3 different colors. I'm going to start out with the lighter one, Cork again, the one that I use on her brow. And I like to use a flatter edged brush so that it doesn't, the application isn't too thick. I can get more precise with a flatter edge brush. You can go lighter or darker with this on the crease depending if it's daytime or nighttime. Right now we're doing Kim for an evening event, so we're going to pump it up a little bit. I'm going to go over now with the darker brown, but with a much finer brush.
This is like the other end of the Stila brush.
Stila brush. And I'm just going in more in the center. It's a redder brown, it's very warm. And you see what that does now is that thinner line I just put into the crease is now blended into the thicker one that I first put on. So that creates a smoky effect when you're going from darker to lighter. Blending is really, really important when you're doing eye makeup especially. Otherwise you just won't get that kind of perfect, flawless look on the eyes unless you blend.
So Mario is going to show you how to put on eyeliner the right way. I know it's so hard for me to put on eyeliner, so show us how you do it.
Alright, well first I warm it up a little bit on my hand, like this, so it's not so hard. And make
what
sure.
Is that, a MAC pencil?
Yeah, this is my favorite all time. It's Smolder by MAC, and has a lot of pigment. And basically, how I do it is I lift the eye, and I get the pencil really close to the lash line. With the eyeliner, I always go thinner in the inner corner. I go thicker on the outer corner because that, creates more of an almond shape, and it like lifts the eye a little bit. This is the Smashbox number 20 brush that I use a lot to blend eyeliner. On the outer corner, I like to smudge it going more up and out. It creates more of a smoky, a little bit of a cattier eye. And then also that's where you're getting the grayish tone by blending this dark color into the warm color on her eyelid. I always like to curl eyelashes before I put on mascara. It just makes a big difference when you curl lashes. It really lifts up the eyes. And Kim has lots of eyelashes, so she doesn't need that much work on them. A little trick I use when I'm curling sometimes is I count like 1, 2, 3, and then I stop. And then do the same thing on the other side. That way one is not curled more than the other. Normally, I would curl again, like more in the center, but you don't need to do that with Kim's eyelashes. This eyelash curler is Billy B. It's by Billy B Beauty. It's a really good new one out there. I also used the Shuyamura one, which is a classic.
Okay, mascara. What's your favorite mascara? Because this is like...
We differ on this. My favorite always is the L'Oreal Voluminous in the Carbon Black. It's a new color. It's not black, it's carbon black. And it's just...
Okay, I'll try it.
It's amazing.
Probably a lot cheaper than the one I've been using.
Yeah, you like L'Oreal, Lancome, right?
Lancome and MAC.
MAC,
Zoom.
yeah. I love the MAC Zoom too. I love the Lancome. I like all of them. I just feel comfortable with this one and I always use it. It gives tons of volume. When you're doing the mascara, again, I like to lift up the eyelid to really get into the root there.
Now after Mario applies all the eyeshadow and finishes the eyes, he does the under eyes, all the concealer. So first you take a little makeup remover wipe and you wipe off everything underneath my eyes in case any of the eyeshadow has fallen down.
Which it has.
First you use a concealer and you use a concealer brush. I mean, I've always said that I like the Clé de Peau. You have this professional pack that isn't really available for anybody, so I would stick to just whatever concealer you like. Just make sure that it's a little bit lighter than your foundation,
right, so
that it covers up any dark circles.
On Kim, right now I'm using one. It's called Beauty Tech, and it's not so much of an oily concealer, and I use that first, and then you'll see I'll go over it with the Makeup Forever concealer, the lifting concealer. You can also use Shuyamura concealer. They make a really good one as well for under the eyes. And when you're doing concealer, it's really important to blend the concealer.
So we use that same concealer that we used on the eyelid.
Yeah, the Makeup Forever Lift Concealer. And I just take that, warm it up on my hand, and apply it like right over the other concealer. This might be much for, for you guys to do at home every day. I mean, you could just do one concealer, it's fine.
My favorite part of the makeup is the under eye concealer.
Yeah,
Nobody does under eye concealer like Mario. He's like the concealer god.
When I started out doing makeup years ago, concealer was always my biggest challenge, and it just took me years to finally figure out how to perfect everyone's individual concealer under their eyes, because it's such a problem. You know, people get, you know, cakey under the eyes, or it doesn't stay, it starts running. And,
yeah, it like gets creases.
Yeah.
For me.
So on Kim, to prevent that creasy look that happens after a little while, again, I just press it in, and then I'll put like a sheer translucent powder underneath. So to set her under eye concealer, I'm using a loose powder. This one that I'm using right now, I use different ones. This one that I'm using right now is Estee Lauder. Alright, so now I'm going to basically just sweep away that powder that I applied.
With a clean brush.
A clean foundation brush, or just a, you know, you can use a soft bristly brush, whatever is comfortable for you. Since we're doing an evening, I'm going to go inside of Kim's eye with a black pencil again. I'm going to go the outer corners, I'm going to put it a little bit underneath the eye on the outer corners. And then I'm going to blend that inward with a little brush. So just using a warm kind of brown color eyeshadow, and just brush lightly underneath the eye. And then you'll have that brown color blending into the black that's inside of her eye. Now in the tear duct here, which is where the eye begins, I'm putting on a product. It's like a loose powder shadow, and it's called Bedazzle, and it's by Giella Cosmetics. And it's like a custom blend line, and they created this just the perfect color to put in the tear duct over here. I'm applying mascara on her bottom eyelashes. And this is optional too. You don't have to do it. Some people don't like to. Some girls really love it.
Kim
loves it. I love it. So this is a bronzer I'm using by Smashbox. It's a matte bronzer, and I like to use this on Kim right here on the hollows of her cheeks here. It kind of contours the cheekbone there. So you just put it there, like from the top of the ear coming down to here.
I love this bronzer, and I think it's really important to use a matte bronzer, because so many people use bronzer with shimmer in it, and that just ruins it all. It almost gives this dirty effect.
Yeah, you wanna place shimmer separately after you do the bronzer to the areas where you want to shine, because if you put shine all over, you're just gonna look like a little bit muddy. So I like to frame the face with bronzer, basically, you know, underneath the chin and on the jawline a little bit. It just warms up the skin. Kim loves to be bronzed, so the more the merrier. I'm going to contour Kim's nose right now, and it's really simple, but you know, it's hard to get when you're doing it on yourself for the first time, just because the color has to be perfect, and you know, the amount of pressure you apply with the brush and the type of brush you use. So I don't recommend you do it and go out like it's something you probably want to practice doing. I'm just quickly adding some of the bronzer to the bridge of to the corners of her nose.
Now it's blush time. You love this Kevyn Aucoin pink blush.
Kevyn Aucoin pink blush in J'adore. I use it a lot, and I love to use it on Kim because Kim loves pink blush. So smile, and we're just gonna apply the blush to the apples of the cheeks, just right in here in this area, and that kind of connects into that bronzer. So we don't want to do like the old-fashioned blush where you take it to the corner of the ear here. You just on the apple.
It's very girly and pink.
Yeah, but it's very youthful. You know, it gives a very nice youthful look. I like to do nude lips on Kim a lot. We've done plums and other things, but since we played up her eyes more for tonight, I'm going to go with a more nude lip color. I'm using Ginger Root Cream Stick Pearl Liner from MAC. And it's just a really natural, pretty nude color. And if you like to overdraw your lip line a little bit, I don't really do it on Kim so much, just a little bit on the outer corners. But if you do, it's good to do it with a color that's very similar to the natural lip color. I usually like to blend different lipsticks. So today I'm going to use this lipstick called Brew from MAC. It's a very light nudish pink color, and I put that more so like in the center There's a lipstick called Hug Me by MAC. It's a pretty natural light color. I'm going to use that more on the outside. I also like to mix lip glosses, so I'm going to mix this brighter color. It's called Glamour OD by MAC. It's Dazzle Glass. It's this new formula they have, which is really nice. It's bright, but once it's spread out, it's very sheer. And I'm going to mix it and lighten it with Sugar Rimmed, which is very pale.
You are like the mix master.
Thank you.
You can't just be like, I use one lipstick and one lip gloss. It's like 2 lipsticks and 2 lip glosses.
And sometimes 4 or 5. And to highlight the center of her lip, just kind of makes them look fuller. Not, not that she needs it, but why not? It's a Estee Lauder color. It's a crystal clear, I think. But it's a kind of a champagne-y color. And that color you just want to put like right here in the center. And then kind of like right up here too. And that's that.
This is the famous Mario face. The one I've been waiting for so long.